Choosing to change your life in silence and going ghost is probably one of the most powerful things that you can do in order to create and manifest your dreams. And yet, it feels almost impossible to do so in a world in which we are virtually connected all the freaking time. We cannot take one single vacation without posting everything on Instagram. And yet, being silent, disappearing for a little bit, and creating your new dreams and your visions in a more private space can be one of the most important things that you can do in order to manifest the vision, the new vision that you have for your life. And it can be a vision for your love life, for your fitness, for your career, for your family, whatever that is. So today I'm going to offer you 3 reasons why you should remain silent and even going ghost whenever you're creating something novel in your life. But before I give you the 3 reasons, I just want to shout out Malik from Purpose Driven because he was the one who first inspired me to going ghost, being a little bit more silent, and building the new vision that I have for my life in a more private, secure space. So let's get to the video. So the first reason why you should keep quiet is because new seeds, dreams, and ideas, they are very sensitive to negative energy. So thinking about it like this, think about your mind and your life as a garden. The new dreams that you have are like new seeds that you're planting in this garden. However, that may be some seeds of doubt, fear, worry that were already planted there and that you have maybe no idea that exist, or maybe you already know, but you don't want to be feeding that. Because if you feed those seeds of doubt and worry and anxiety, you're gonna prevent the seeds that you want to see sprouting to grow in the best way possible in your garden. So whenever you tell your dreams to someone and that person reacts in a bad way, maybe they do not believe in that vision that you believe, maybe they have doubts, they don't know how you're going to achieve that, maybe they think it's not possible. Whenever you receive that type of reaction, what it's happening is that that energy is feeding the seeds of doubt that already exist within you. It's not about other people. It's about you. So before you share with anyone, it is really important to work on your dreams until you gain momentum. You need to see evidence that the thing that you're building is possible. And then when you gain momentum, when you see, those seeds sprouting and growing, it's going to be really hard for other people to convince you that it's not possible. So again, it's not about other people. It's about you. You need to be the one who are fully convinced that it's possible to do it. Because it doesn't matter what other people say, you know that you're not going to give up. The second reason why you should not share is because you should not taste the reward before actually doing the work. And it's very common that we get so excited about the things that we are building that we start sharing it. Again, because we are excited. But what happens is we start to get these dopamine rewards in our brain. And dopamine is the hormone that it's released when we are actually achieving something. It's the reward for the work that you're putting in. And we are sharing with other people, you're getting that reward, but you actually didn't do the work, right? So you start to get lazy. You start to be complacent because you already have the reward, right? And you should not do that. This is the fastest way of becoming lazy and not actually working for the things that you want to see manifesting in your life. We all know people who seem to be always talking about the things that they want to do and about their dreams, but they never seem to be able to achieve it. Now I'm convinced that the problem is not a lack of focus or a lack of will. It's just because of a hormonal thing. It's like they're getting the reward before actually putting in the work. So don't be that person. And the thing is, we live in a society in which we get cheap dopamine reward all the time. It's in our phones, it's with our food, it's in pornography, it's in everything. So if we don't guard our mind, if we don't guard the things that we say, if we don't guard our behavior, we basically lose the ability of doing deep, meaningful work. And without deep, meaningful work, it is really hard to achieve the things that you want. It is not possible to achieve the body that you want or to build that business without being focused and working on these new plans and these new visions. It's not possible. You gotta do it. We are on planet Earth. You can visualize, you can meditate, you can convince yourself that it's possible, but because we are on this plan, we need action. We need action, right? Like, so the convincing yourself in your mind that you're able to achieve it is the first part. The second part is actually doing it. So do it in silence. Do it in silence. And the third reason why you should go silent and maybe even disappearing for a little bit is because we only have so much time and energy. Look, most people are already very busy in their lives, and they are not only very busy, but they are also very distracted. So I guarantee you, if you don't start saying no to other people, it's going to be really hard to say yes to yourself. So let's say that you're trying to stop drinking, and every time that you go out with your friends, they expect you to drink because that's what you always do. And the thing is, every person in our lives, they have a program running about the way that we behave. So every time that they see you, they expect to, match the program that they have in their minds with your actual behavior. So it's going to be really hard to continue to go out. They're going to most likely continue to expect you to behave in a certain way, but you want to change. And because we are social beings, it is really hard to say no. It's really hard to continue to be in that environment, feeling that pressure and not, just giving in to it. We are social beings, right? So it is really important to guard your energy, to guard yourself from other people's expectations of you. It doesn't have to be forever until you start seeing the positive results of this new behavior that you want to, adopt in your life. It is not really wise to be hanging out with people who are expecting you to behave in the old way. It's not going to be helpful. And I was talking about how we are social beings, which is true, but we also have the archetype of the hermit inside of us, meaning we can all spend some time alone, changing, transforming, building the things that we want to build. We all have that capability. Again, you're not going to be in that phase forever, but for a certain period of time, that might actually be the thing that it's separating you from achieving your dreams or not achieving your dreams. And I just would like to offer something for those of you who believe that it's not possible. You actually may even know that it's not possible to share your most intimate dreams, not even with your loved ones, with your most close friends and family members. And I want to say two things. The first thing is this is actually much more common than you think. So you're not alone in the world. And the second thing is it often comes from a place of ignorance, or even they might have a good-hearted intention for you, but it's a misplaced one. So let's say that you want to be an artist, but your parents are medical doctors who believe that all artists are poor, promiscuous, and, drunk. Some people do have that belief. If they do not see that life for themselves, they're not going to see it for you. They do not see how it's possible to be a successful artist and have money, have beautiful relationships, and have a beautiful relationship with yourself. Or maybe you want to live in a different country, but all of your friends, they never left town. They're not going to be able to support that unless they are people who are able to dream and believe in their dreams. if they don't allow themselves to dream, if they don't allow themselves to, believe in something that they haven't seen yet, they're not going to be able to do it for you. So I'm going to share a little bit of a personal story. Many years ago, I wanted to travel in South America and I wanted to backpack for 6 months. And it was just a desire that I had in my heart. I couldn't even imagine how important that trip would be for me. But at the time, I didn't receive a lot of support. Like my boyfriend at the time was definitely not supportive, even though he was meant to travel with me at least for a little bit. My mom was definitely not very supportive as well. So for 1 year, I actually had to plan that trip in silence, alone, because people in my life could not support that. So I planned the trip and I traveled for 6 months. And I'm telling you, that was one of the most beautiful and important experiences of my life. So much so that at the end of the trip, when I was in Buenos Aires, which was the last city that I was visiting, I decided that I was falling in love with the city and that I wanted to live there. And I missed my flight back home and I lived there for 2 years. And those 2 years represented so much growth in my life. You would not believe it. And that was one of the most beautiful things that I've ever done in my life. And I'm telling you, people couldn't understand what that desire was, placed by the higher mind in my heart. They couldn't support because I was the one who received the vision. I was the one who received the vision. It was not on them, to be completely honest, to see the things that I was seeing. And if I'm being even more honest, even I didn't have all the perspective. Even I couldn't imagine how that trip would be important in my development, journey in my life. So whenever you have a dream, God, the higher mind, whatever you want to call it, it gave the dream to you. It didn't give the dreams to your parents. It didn't give the dreams to your boyfriend or girlfriend. It didn't give the dream to your friends. It gave the dream to you. You are the one who needs to nurture it. You are the one who needs to believe it, right? It's not on them, it's on you. So whenever you receive that dream, you start working on it in silence. People around you will not always understand, and it's okay. In my experience, oftentimes they don't understand, they don't believe it. But after you accomplish the thing, they're actually proud and they are actually inspired because here's the thing. When you are shining your light, when you are making your dreams a reality, you inspire people around you. You inspire people around you. You almost give them permission to do the same for their lives as well. So protect your dream, protect your vision, and only share when the thing actually start materializing and manifesting in your life. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.